Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel for another interesting beer review and another Bavarian Pils. This is from Privatbrauerei Hofmann, located in the small town Pahres in Mittelfranken. So it's in the middle of Bavaria, and this is their Pils called Hopfen Gold. Looks really nice and traditional to me. The label and so on looks in a way that they care more about the quality instead of doing some fancy label changing labels to new artwork and so on, because this looks very traditional to me. Looks like exactly like a bottle that you could find in the 80s. Very traditional and nice in every way, and I have high expectations of this one, because when I did my research about this brewery, it seemed like they were very much caring about the quality and the craftsmanship regarding the brewing process, finding the right raw materials, local best raw materials that is possible to get. It's got 4.9 ABV, I should also mention that, of course. And this is really interesting because it's not that very big brewery. Of course, it's a private owned brewery. I'm gonna speak more about the history of the brewery, but I have high expectations of it, and I bet it's gonna be really great, because it has this typical Pils look of the label and the bottle, in my opinion, German style Pils, which I really like. This strong hops bitterness, the freshness of the herbs and the aroma, which is just amazing. It's something that really stands in its own class, in my opinion. So this is gonna be really nice to test and review, and I'm really much into German Pilsners. One closer look of this great looking label, in my opinion, Hofmann Hopfen Gold. I should also say that I think this one is their best seller, the Pils, which is would be no surprise, because it's so big or a popular beer style. But I mean, look at this label, looking very easy and nice in every way, I think. Hofmann Hopfen Gold. Privatbrauerei Hofmann Pahres, seit 1663. Eichgründer Brautradition Hofmann Hopfen Gold Pilsener, gebraut nach dem bayerischen Reinheitsgebot. Alcohol 4.9 ABV. Hofmann Eichgründer Brautradition, German style Pilsner, Gold Award 2011, site 1663. So quite old, which of course is something that I have respect for, because it's a private brewery, not owned by or formed by a big brewery group or something like that, which is of course great that they still continue. Privatbrauerei Hofmann, located in Pahres. Zutaten: Wasser, Gerstenmalz, Hopfen. Doesn't say anything more. I'll give you the link to the brewer's website in the description box below, because this is something that I have big respect for. Located in Mittelfranken, Bavaria, as I mentioned. I'm gonna go through some information about their raw materials that they're using, because that's something that I found on their website. After that, I'm gonna go through some history about the brewery. Hops and malt, may the Lord preserve it. Who doesn't know these 5 words? What are these ingredients all about, and how is our beer actually brewed? Well, first of all with a lot of love, with a love for the culture and tradition of this ancient drink, and in addition to hops and malt, of course, with water. Later it is mixed with yeast for fermentation. Our water, it comes from our own well, reliable for centuries and unchanged in its purity. Through regular quality controls, we ensure that our water also meets our high standards. The chemical and biological purity of the brewing water is constantly monitored and is flawless. Our beer consists of approximately 90% of this natural element. The closest raw material in terms of quantity is then malt. We use barley and wheat malt from controlled Franconian cultivation. Malt is created by dodging, germinating, and kilning in the malt house. The grain develops enzymes that are later important for the brewing process. Depending on the type of beer, different malts are used. The hops. For our next raw material, hops no longer comes from Eichgrund, formerly part of the largest contiguous hop growing area in Germany, Mittelfranken, but from Hallertau, Tettnang and Spalt, which is very high quality, those three. Hops help our beer to have a fine bitterness, high foam stability and a natural durability. Our master brewer uses selected qualities, always from mutually controlled cultivation. Yeast. The last substance involved is yeast. It is a living cell, such can be seen here. The yeast used in our brewery are called sugar mushrooms because they live from the sugar from the breakdown of starch of the barley wheat grain. A distinction is made between top fermenting yeasts. They rise upwards after fermentation in the fermentation vessel, and bottom fermenting yeasts, they settle on the bottom of the fermentation vessel after fermentation. The main metabolites of yeast are alcohol and carbonic acid, both of which are derived from the sugar of the malt. In addition, a whole series of other metabolic products are formed which contribute significantly to the taste and aroma of our beer. Now we know the raw materials, there is nothing more in our beer, so let's go to the brewery and to see how our beer is made. In different steps of the animation, consider how we brew our beer. And there was an animation on this website, that's what the text was referring to. As you have just seen, our beers are brewed in 7 days in the fermentation tank. After that, most beers go to the storage cellar, because you can still not let the beer run over your tongue with relish. The young beer, as it is now called, is hose that is brought from the fermentation cellar into storage cellars. Here it ripens for several weeks around 0 degrees Celsius. This happens in storage tanks where it naturally enriches itself with carbonic dioxide and matures until it is perfect. Samples can be drawn here via the gusset tap. The fermentation is carried out under pressure so that the carbonic dioxide remains in the beer. Before bottling, the beer is then filtered in the filter cellar. Cloudiness and yeast are removing with special filters. However, our wheat beer goes through the filling process before the actual fermentation, because this is original bottle fermentation, also called barrel fermentation. Our wheat beer matures here in special maturing chambers right in the container. Of course, it is not filtered beforehand, because it is precisely in this beer that we want to have the fine yeast in the glass. Bottling. Now the time has come, our beer can be filled up in kegs or bottles. Bottled beer, like draft beers, is filled under counter pressure to prevent foaming and loss of carbonic dioxide. Beer is particularly oxygen-sensitive product. Even small amounts of oxygen that enter the beer through the bottle can adversely affect the taste of the beer. Therefore, in modern bottle filling systems, the bottle is first evacuated, then pre-stressed with carbonic dioxide and filled with the beer. The beer flows calmly into the bottle through a filling tube. After pulling out the filling tube, the beer foams briefly and displaces the air that is still in the bottle neck. After filling, the labeling machine supplies the individual bottles with their clothing, the label, and the bottles move to the packer, who puts them in box and automatically pelletizes them. Now our beer is ready and is just waiting for you. They care so much about the quality. That's what I notice about their website. This is a really special brewery. Over to some history about this fantastic brewery. Brewing tradition founded in 1663. The history of the Hofmann private brewery in Eichgrund began a long time ago. Our family here in Pahres has been brewing beer for 11 generations now. The oldest document known, a handover protocol from 1663, refers to this origin. Jeremias Hofmann has taken over the property belonging to the High Duke of Dachsbach along with economy and brewing justice brought it along with all of his own items with the exception of the extra effort and the complete brewing utensils, brandy, a few oxen, and then a cart and belt chains like a plough and a harrow. Since 1663 the brewing trade has remained directly in the family's hands. The fathers always passed on the brewing to their sons, and that has remained so until today. All the Georgs, Johanns and Leonards brewed their beers here in Pahres with the fresh water from the same brewery owned well. So that's also something good, that they have their own deep well to pick up the water from. In the past also with home-grown Eichgründer hops. In the 19th century the Eichgrund was in the middle of the largest hop growing area in Germany. At that time, Mittelfranken was the most important area with over 9,000 hectares of cultivated area, with a total cultivated area in Germany of 38,000 hectares. Over time, at that time, there were many breweries in Eichgrund. Almost every larger farm had the right to brew beer here. But most of them disappeared over the years. Hofmann stayed, and with luck and hard work, perseverance and good beer, our brewery survived the chaos of time. The brewery in Pahres used to be a small inn brewery, of course, where beer was brewed for the village and for the own inn. The main occupation was still in agriculture and the inn. From 900 onwards, however, progress continued. In 1927, Leonard Hofmann won the first customer outside of Pahres, the hammer mill in Birnbaum. The product from Pahres was convincing, and to this day the guests of the Hammerschmiede have been drinking beer from the Hofmann private brewery for over 80 years. The change from agriculture to brewery became more and more apparent. Accompanied by frequent renovations and expansion of the brewery, beer output rose continuously. In 1956, Friedrich Hofmann, then the youngest master brewer in Bavaria, took over his parents' brewery and devoted all his strength and energy to the further growth and constant expansion of the brewery and the inn. The path to a modern company was thus taken. There have always been changes in the appearance of Hofmann beer. Ironing bottle, jugs, beer felts, labels in different shapes and forms, always in keeping with the style of the time. Simply leaf through our photo album of beer history from Pahres. Have fun. And some more information, not about the history of the company, but some information related to the company and the brewery. Modern but with history, the Hofmann brewery grew to its current size under the leadership of Friedrich Hofmann, and at the time delivered its beer within a radius of up to 40 kilometers around the brewery chimney. Since 2000, the responsibility has been in the hands of Georg Hofmann. His thinking and acting for the brewery is characterized by highest quality awareness at all levels. It starts with our most important asset, our employees, who are responsible for ensuring that our high-quality concept, only the best is good enough for us, can be successfully implemented. This is only possible if the employees are competent and motivated to understand how to implement these quality standards in all areas. This also includes fair cooperative dealings with each other, which is the only way to convey them to our customers. Georg Hofmann also stands for the harmonious combination of traditional craftsmanship with the technical possibilities of today. This guarantees the high quality standards can be maintained at a constantly high level. Innovative management with a constant eye on tradition is required. In this way, natural resources, energy, material and so on can also be conserved. because only from an unpolluted environment can we obtain raw materials that are of impeccable high quality, and they are essential for our beer. And about this specific beer, the Hopfen Gold, one look of the label here, looks really nice. Classical looking color combination, gold, red, white and black, really nice. It's possible to read this about this specific pils. The classic, created in 1956 by Leonard Hofmann, the first Pilsner beer in Eichgrund for lovers of hoppy beers, very thinly mixed to pull only the noble materials from the malt, cold fermented and matured classically cold, light golden color with fine sparkling carbonic acid, a summer meadow of fresh scents, soft and full in the first drink, a beer that makes us forget the empty hop water that has been brewed for a long time, pleasant reviewed the late drink, the fine bitter delight the palate. A real Eichgründer classic was created by traditional artisanal brewing. It also won the Gold Award 2011 in category German Style Pilsner, winner of the gold medal at European Beer Star 2011. Malt, light Pilsner barley malt, hops, Hallertauer Nordbauer, Hallertauer Tradition, water, soft brewing water from our own well, yeast, bottom fermented brewer's yeast, original wort strength 11.8, alcohol content 4.9 ABV. Well, that's history about this fantastic brewery and information about this specific beer, Hopfen Gold, the Pilsner from the Hofmann Privatbrauerei, located in Mittelfranken, Bavaria. Really excited about trying this one. So finally, over to the tasting part of Hofmann Hopfen Gold. Let's open this one up. And pour it up. Get a nice white head there. Really looking beautiful in my opinion. I mean, have a closer look at this. See all the small bubbles rises up. What could possibly be more beautiful than this? And white compact foam head, very important in the typical for a pils, especially for a pils. It's the pils style that's creating this perfect big white foam head. Very important to maintain the white foam head, in my opinion. It keeps the real taste in the glass. Let's see if we can get the rest. That's the way it should look, shouldn't it? Really nice white big foam head and the fantastic look of all the bubbles rising up. That's the way it should look. Really high quality. I have high expectations on this one because it really is high quality. That's something that's easy to see. Just have to show it to you close once again. How beautiful that is. Big white foam head. Typical for this style, German style pils. This is from beautiful Bavaria landscape. So this one, I can say already, it's gonna be really great. The Hofmann Hopfen Gold Pilsner, really nice. And also that it's not a very big brewery, but a private brewery, focusing on the quality, not about growing to be the world's biggest. See, 2-finger white head, just the way it should be. This far, absolutely perfect. Um, Bright yellow color, easy to see through, nice, very, very, very nice. Um, so I mean, I must say this have the chance to be one of the best pilsners ever. That's at least my expectations. Let's get the aroma. Fantastic, of course. So fresh, absolutely fantastic freshness, hops taste of the Hallertau Spalt hops. Really, really nice. Something I recognize from a few other of these really, really great pilsners I've had before. The really, really nice. Could compare it to the Wiening Waldhaus probably, but there's not many that is in this class. Comparing to the freshness, natural hops, this is gonna be so great. So I really, really look forward to it. And this far, my expectations have been, overwhelmed, even better than I thought. So really, really great. I think this is gonna be. Let's taste it. Prost. Yeah, it's fantastic, of course. Really, really, really fresh. Really, really nice taste of it. It's definitely something special, and I hope you believe me when I say that, because as a beer reviewer that I've been getting, or I mean that I might be able to consider myself after my reviews here on the channel, I'm having the possibility to feel what beers that are good and what beers that are not good, and this is really, really amazing. It's fantastic in every way. It's something that you have to try. No matter how hard it might be to find it, you have to try it, because it's so great. The Hofmann Hopfen Gold. It's amazing. It's that simple. It's really, really amazing. So fantastic. Yeah, the freshness is just unbelievable. That's it. The Hofmann Hopfen Gold Pilsner. Fantastic Pilsner. Absolutely refreshing, and just the way you you want your German Pils. Really, really, really nice in taste. And they've done such an amazing job with this one. Best raw materials, best craftsmanship. It's unbelievably great, and as I used to say, I have no reason to mention that if that's wouldn't be my opinion. So trust me, this one is fantastic. Hofmann Hopfen Gold Pilsner. Definitely one of the best pilsners I've had. It's hard to think what could be tasting better than this. Actually, it's so great. Something you have to try, definitely. And I knew I said I was looking forward to review this one, because I managed to find it in Germany, and it was very difficult to find, but it was definitely worth it. And yeah, it's so great. It's absolutely really great. And yeah, with that said, I hope you continue to follow my channel for more interesting beer reviews. German beers, of course, is the ones that I'm drinking. since they are the best. Um, like, comment, subscribe, and see you again in the next beer review.